Chapter 2, Part 1, The Examination. "Stop," a tall man said before the doors. Davin, Bretta's father. He was one of the town's priests, wearing a dark blue priestly robe. He regarded Vivi with a scowl. "The church is a sacred ground. Filth is not allowed in." "Yes, I will clean my boots," Vivi said. She grabbed a towel from her pocket and wiped down her boots before dipping them into a bowl of water beside the doors. Then, she wiped the boots dry with another towel. Davin stood there, looking unimpressed. "What are you doing here, Vivian?" "None of your business," Vivi thought. Two kids entered the church beside her. Davin didn't ask them a single question, letting them right through. Vivi had the urge to say something very stupid. Instead, she said, "I just need to get examined. Examination day is the only opportunity to do that for free. Every teen is supposed to be allowed in." "My job is to stop trouble from arriving," Davin said. "I am only being realistic by doubting you." "I'll wait in the back and I won't talk to anyone," Vivi said. "I'm here to be examined. The rules say that you're not allowed to stop anyone from being examined." Davin sighed. Behind her, Barreau and Jude were catching up to her. Vivi really didn't want to continue the argument. Luckily, Davin stepped out of the way. "Don't cause a scene, Vivi." She thanked him and quickly entered the church. God Ithar's statue smiled down at her from behind the altar. The statue depicted him as a regular man, though unnaturally handsome and gigantic. The statue reached nearly to the roof. Vivi had been forced to kneel and pray underneath the statue many times after she'd done anything even slightly prohibited. A group of 5 girls were gathered in a ring at the entrance. They all wore makeup and dresses, not noble-rich gowns, but colored clothes nonetheless. The types of clothes that made them feel like they owned the world. Vivi received a quippy remark as she passed. She kept her head low, ignoring the group. Examinations were being held away from the praying room and inside the courtyard to the side. Vivi entered the cloister, finding the canopied courtyard crowded with suits and dresses. Nearly all of Fellwater's teens were present, as well as a few parents who couldn't trust their respective idiots to behave. The glowing ether hunter stood in the very middle, on top of a platform alongside her ominous urn. The woman was the new examiner, Serena Goldbridge. She was a regal woman with a true blessed surname. Her silver hair glowed and her skin was twice as smooth as her age would normally allow. She wore a sword maiden's battle dress and a protective rain cloak. The dress alone likely cost hundreds of ether, a true ether hunter. Beside Serena fluttered a blue translucent ether spirit. The spirit glimmered like a speck of light inside the thick fog of the surface air. In this form, the spirit looked like a gust of wind or a wisp of colorful smoke. Spirits, however, could choose their physical forms. The spirit sat on Serena's shoulder, forming the shape of a winged girly elf. The spirit smiled at Helena, the girl currently being examined. 360 ether. "A respectable sum," Serena said. "Thank you for coming." The words implied a dismissal. Helena bowed, then joined back with her group. She looked nervous. Alohan's son entered next. He was a burly boy with the thick arms of a trained carpenter. Last Vivi had heard, Alo was a few hundred ether in the positive. He had a nice future on the surface, though the spirits certainly wouldn't choose him. Most children in their village were mediocre. Only one of them would be chosen to become an ether hunter. The bare minimum a candidate realistically required was ether in the high 3 digits and existing skills in combat. If Serena truly believed one of them was worthy, the chosen one would form a tie with the loose spirit inside Serena's special urn, becoming a spirit wielder. While Alo was being dismissed, Vivi forced her way past the crowd, pushing people out of the way. She received glares and insults, of course. The boys would give her hell for this stunt after the examinations were done. Vivi didn't care. She wasn't about to spend any more time watching than was necessary. She walked right past everyone, directly onto the examination platform. Serena's smile fell. Her spirit tilted its head at Vivi, looking confused. Vivi stood as tall as she could, but her heart was beating. She wouldn't get chosen, of course she wouldn't, but she needed to make a good impression. For Grandpa and their smithy. "Go on, examine her," Serena said. The spirit complied. Its form changed back to the windy wisps. It fluttered around Vivi, examining every inch of her body. Vivi felt a tickle in her soul until the spirit sat back on its owner's shoulder. "Vivian Roomblist." The spirit looked even more confused than before. "But you aren't blessed. How do you have a name?" Vivi tried not to wince. She bowed as gracefully as her untrained self could manage. "Forgive my parents' namesense. I am as embarrassed as you are. People call me Vivi." The spirit cocked its head. "Embarrassed? Why?" "The girl's name is fake," Serena said with a sigh. "Her lineage isn't blessed by Ithar. Her name was created through her parents' imagination. Thus it is fake. She bears no blessings." "Oh," the spirit said, staring at Vivi with curiosity. "What a cursed little being." Vivi kept her head low with honest respect. As rude as the examiners were, Serena Goldbridge was an ether hunter, a living legend, a hero who defended the lower levels from monsters. "Common names are meaningless either way," Serena said. "We aren't here to belittle her parents' mistakes. Tell me, how much ether does her core carry?" "She has minus 100,000 ether," the spirit said nonchalantly. Serena blinked. "Minus. What, is that the wrong word?" the spirit asked. "She has 100,000 ether less than zero." 100,000, Serena blurted out. The spirit frowned and peered into Vivi's soul again. Negative 100,000 and on the dot. Serena watched Vivi in disbelief. Most likely, the examiner had never met anyone as thoroughly nailed to rock bottom as Vivi. Even the poorest of orphans were typically marked at a few ether in the positive. "How is this possible?" Serena asked. "I have never seen debt beyond a few dozen ether." "I was born like this," Vivi said. "Nobody knows how it happened." Serena looked doubtful. Any hints of sympathy on her expression were quickly evolving to an appalled scowl. "How old are you, girl?" 17 years and 1 month, Vivi said with a bow. Serena gave her a look, then said what they were both thinking. "You have 11 months to live, then." Chapter complete. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe for more light novel adventures. Part 2 is ready, so don't miss it.